Not all large dogs are dangerous, but there are some breeds that are very strong, extremely protective, and hard to control if they end up with the wrong owner. In this video, we'll look at the 20 powerful dog breeds that can pose serious danger if they don't go through proper training and socialization. But before we start, please comment below this video what breed of dog you have. And if you don't have a dog yet, what breed would you like to take care of? So let's get started. Number 20, the powerful Italian Cane Corso. The Cane Corso is a large and muscular guard dog from Italy. It originated from ancient Molosser-type dogs that were used for heavy work in the past. Eventually, it became a guard for homes and farms, helped handle cattle, and was a companion in hunting large animals. The name Cane Corso is commonly associated with the meaning guard dog or bodyguard dog. This fits its natural temperament. The Cane Corso is known for being alert, confident, intelligent, and protective of its own family, but it is not a dog that can be raised without proper training. While still a puppy, it needs to get used to other people, places, sounds, and animals. If it doesn't get used to being outside its own home, it might think that every stranger is a threat. Basic commands like sit, stay, come, and proper walking on a leash are also important. There's no need for hurting or scaring the dog. Calm, firm, and consistent training is more effective. It also needs daily exercise and mental activities. If it's always confined and has nothing to do, it can become bored, destructive, or overly territorial. The exact bite force numbers circulating can't be trusted, but it's clear that the Cane Corso has a very strong body and jaws. When it loses control, it can cause serious harm. With the right owner, it can be calm, loyal, and loving, but because of its size, strength, and intense guarding instinct, it's not a good choice for a first-time owner. Number 19, Turkish Independent Kangal Guardian. The Kangal is a large livestock guardian dog from Turkey. Its job is to guard sheep and other animals against wolves, jackals, and other predators. It is not a herding dog that drives sheep in one direction. It quietly stays close to the flock and watches the surroundings. When it sees danger, it immediately takes position. It often barks first to scare off the predator. Its goal is to prevent the enemy from coming closer, not to fight right away. The Kangal is big, fast, sturdy, and independent. It was raised to work even without someone constantly giving commands. It can make decisions on its own when it senses danger. This is a good trait on the farm, but this can be a problem in an ordinary home. If it lacks socialization, it may consider neighbors, guests, delivery riders, or even other passing dogs as threats. It's also not suitable for a small apartment. It needs a wide and secure area, regular exercise, and an owner who understands livestock guardian breeds. It's often said that the Kangal has the strongest bite among all dogs, but there's no reliable world record that proves the exact 70,743 pounds per square inch that's often seen online. However, with its own family and animals, it knows it can be calm and protective, but it's not a dog that will immediately trust everyone. It needs to be introduced carefully to new people and new situations. In the right environment, it can be a reliable guard. But if training is neglected, its size and territorial nature can become a serious problem. Number 18, the strong and confident Rottweiler. The Rottweiler is a strong working dog from Germany. Its ancestors were once used to travel with cattle. Eventually, it became well known in the town of Rottweil, where butchers used it to drive cattle and pull carts loaded with meat. That job required strength, endurance, intelligence, and protectiveness. When the use of cart-pulling dogs declined, the Rottweiler was used in police work, search and rescue, protection, and other services. It is known for being confident and observant. It doesn't always immediately make friends with strangers. Usually it first watches and assesses new people. It is also naturally protective of its family and home, but that doesn't mean it should be trained to be aggressive. A well-behaved Rottweiler should be calm, controlled, and obedient. While still young, it needs to get used to visitors, other dogs, children, and different places. Supervision is also important when it's with small children. Even when it's just being playful, It can knock someone over because of its size and strength. It's true that the Rottweiler appears in some reports about serious dog attacks, but it's not enough to just look at the breed name. It's important to know how the dog was raised, whether it's always tied up or confined, if it was trained to intimidate, if it's sick or in pain, and if the owner is responsible. When a large dog loses control, the possible damage is much greater compared to a small dog. But it's also not right to think that all Rottweilers are aggressive. With proper breeding, training, and socialization, they can be loyal, playful, gentle, and excellent family companions. Number 17, the alert and intelligent Doberman. The Doberman Pinscher was developed in Germany in the late 1800s. It was named after Louis Dobermann, a tax collector who wanted to have a brave and trustworthy dog to accompany him, to guard him while he worked. Because of this, the Dobermann became known as quick to learn, alert, brave, and an excellent protection dog. But it was not born wanting to attack people. Its temperament is greatly affected by breeding, training, socialization, health, and the way the owner treats it. A Doberman needs daily physical exercise and mental activity. When lacking exercise, socialization, and proper training, it can become overly anxious, protective, or difficult to control. With a responsible owner, it can become a loyal family companion and a reliable guard. But because it is fast, strong, and intelligent, it needs clear rules and consistent care. Number 16, the energetic Siberian Husky. The Siberian Husky is a working dog bred to pull sleds on long journeys in cold places. It is known for its speed, endurance, and high energy. It is also usually friendly with people, so it is not a natural guard dog, but it has a strong instinct to chase. Because of this, it needs to be watched when around small animals like cats, chickens, or rabbits. It is also good at escaping. It can dig under fences, jump, or look for holes to get out. That's why it needs a sturdy fence and regular exercise. When it lacks activity and things to do, it can become unruly and hard to control. It's not because it's naturally bad, but because its excess energy isn't being channeled properly. Number 15, the reliable German Shepherd. The German Shepherd is one of the most well-known police and military dogs in the world. It is intelligent, learns quickly, and can do various jobs such as searching for missing people, detecting illegal substances, and guarding. It is also strong and protective. But that doesn't mean that every German Shepherd is automatically aggressive. With proper breeding, training, and socialization, it can be calm, obedient, and loving to its family. Problems arise when it isn't socialized with other people, is always confined, or is trained using violence. Because it is big and strong, serious things can happen if the owner loses control. That's why it needs clear training, regular exercise, and responsible care. Number 14, the high-energy Belgian Malinois. The Belgian Malinois is lighter and usually moves faster than the German Shepherd. Some police and military units use this because it's alert, intelligent, learns quickly, and has a very high drive to work. But these same traits are also the reason why it's not suitable for every family. A simple short walk every day is not enough for this dog. It needs intense physical exercise, mental training, and clear tasks. If it always has nothing to do, it can become very anxious, destructive, or hard to control. The Malinois is not a bad pet, but it was bred to be a working dog. That's why it needs an owner who has enough time, knowledge, and experience in handling high-energy dogs. Number 13, the unpredictable Wolfdog hybrid. The Wolfdog hybrid is the offspring of a domestic dog and a wolf, or from dogs with close wolf ancestry. It's more complicated to take care of than an ordinary dog. That's because it may not be clear how strong the wild behavior will be as it grows up. Some may be shy and always want to escape. Others may have a strong prey drive, territorial behavior, or difficulty following normal training. Each hybrid also has a different temperament. Even siblings can have very different behavior. There are places that strictly regulate or completely ban keeping them as pets. There is also an additional problem with rabies rules because the regulations for some wolf hybrids are not the same as those for ordinary dogs. Because of this, they are not suitable for an ordinary household and should not be kept just because they look beautiful or unique. Number 12. The powerful Bullmastiff Guardian. The Bullmastiff was developed in England to help gamekeepers catch people who were illegally hunting on large estates. At that time, they needed a dog that was quiet, brave, and strong enough to bring down and restrain a person until the guard arrived. Because of this, the Bullmastiff is large and muscular. It can also be naturally protective of the home and family. But most of the time, it is calm and affectionate when with people it knows. The challenge is its size. Even if it doesn't hurt anyone, it can knock over a child or an elderly person when it gets too excited. It needs to get used to visitors, other dogs, and different situations while it's still young. Harsh training is not necessary. A calm, firm, and consistent approach works better. Number 11 is the big game hunter Dogo Argentino. The Dogo Argentino is a large and athletic dog from Argentina. It was bred for pack hunting large animals like wild boar and puma. That's why it's strong, brave, and has a high prey drive. It's not correct to say that it always wants to fight, but because of its hunting background, it needs to be properly controlled when near small animals. Early socialization is important so it can learn to stay calm around new people, places, and animals. It also needs regular exercise and an owner who can handle a large and strong working dog. When raised properly, it can be loyal and affectionate, but it's not a good choice for owners without experience or those who don't have time for serious training. Number 10, the strong-willed Presa Canario. The Presa Canario is a large and muscular breed from the Canary Islands. It was once used for handling cattle and guarding farms. Because of this, it is naturally alert, confident, and cautious around people it doesn't know. You don't need to make this dog aggressive to be a guard. It already has its own protective instinct. What you need to do is teach it to obey, stay calm, and accept the presence of visitors and other animals. Because it is heavy and strong, the owner should not rely on physical strength alone to control it. Proper leash training, socialization, and basic commands should be established early on. Using violence or so-called pack dominance is also not right. This can worsen fear and aggression. With the right owner, it can become loyal and well-controlled. But for those without experience, its size, strength, and protective nature can be a difficult and dangerous combination. Number 9, the distrustful Fila Brasileiro. The Fila Brasileiro is a large and powerful guard dog from Brazil. It was once used to guard vast lands, search for lost animals, and handle cattle. This breed is known for its intense loyalty to its family, but it is also naturally cautious and does not easily trust people it doesn't know. In Brazil, this trait is called ojeriza, or a natural aversion to strangers. Because of this, it is not a dog that visitors should just approach or touch. Even in dog shows, judges are expected to be careful when approaching it. The Fila needs early socialization, a secure yard, and an owner with extensive experience with large guard dogs. Being strict alone is not enough. The owner should know how to train it calmly and consistently. When raised properly, it can be calm and loyal to the family. But because of its size and intense protective instinct, it is not suitable for most ordinary homes. Number 8, Japan's powerful Tosa. The Tosa is a large breed from Japan that was originally bred for dog fighting. It was developed by mixing native Japanese dogs with several large breeds from other countries. The Tosa is not usually noisy. It is known for being calm, patient, brave, and controlled in its movements. But it can be dominant and not very friendly with other dogs, especially if it lacks socialization. Tosas also vary greatly in weight. Those raised in Japan are usually lighter, while some lines in other countries are bigger. Because of its history and strength, there are countries that ban or strictly regulate owning a Tosa. It's not a good choice for a first-time dog owner. It needs early obedience training, proper socialization, and a responsible owner who can control it without using force. Not every Tosa is automatically aggressive, but if not raised properly, its size and strength can become a serious danger. Number 7, the protective South African Boerboel. The Boerboel is a large farm dog from South Africa. It was used to guard homes, families, and livestock on farms. That's why it's naturally alert, confident, and protective of its territory. The Boerboel is also intelligent and can make quick decisions when it notices something unusual, but that doesn't mean it should be trained to attack. The real challenge is its size and strength. If it doesn't know how to obey, it's hard to control it with just a leash or physical strength. It needs to get used to visitors, children, other dogs, and different places while it's still young. Continuous obedience training is also important, not just when it's still a puppy. With the family, it can be calm, loving, and loyal. But because it's territorial and has a strong guarding instinct, it's not recommended for first-time owners. Number 6, the independent Central Asian Shepherd. The Central Asian Shepherd, also known as Alabay, is one of the oldest livestock guardian dogs. For thousands of years, people in Central Asia have used it to guard their livestock against predators and thieves. This breed is large, sturdy, and can work in extreme cold or heat. It's not the type of dog that always waits for commands. It was raised to think and make decisions on its own whenever there's a threat to its territory or the animals it guards. Because of this, it can be quiet but extremely watchful. It's also naturally suspicious of strangers and doesn't easily accept new people in the house. It needs a spacious and secure area, early socialization, and an owner with experience with independent guardian breeds. It's not suitable for a small apartment or for families who just want an easy-to-care-for pet. In the right environment, the Alabay can be calm, balanced, and loyal, but without training and clear boundaries, its strength and territorial nature can be hard to control. Number 5, the massive Caucasian Shepherd. The Caucasian Shepherd is a massive livestock guardian dog from the Caucasus region. For many years, it has been used to guard sheep, homes, and vast lands against predators and thieves. It has thick fur because it needs to survive in the cold and harsh mountain climate. Because of its size and thick coat, it looks like a small bear when seen up close. It is naturally brave, confident, and protective. When it sees a threat, it can act without waiting for a command from its owner. But it's not true that all Caucasian Shepherds are automatically aggressive. According to the American Kennel Club, it can be gentle, loyal, and loving to its own family. But it's a serious guard dog and can have an intense reaction when it senses someone as a threat. That's why early socialization is very important. Even as a puppy, it needs to get used to visitors, other animals, noise, and different places. It also needs a spacious and secure yard. This dog is not suitable for a small apartment or a home where there are always visitors coming in without proper introduction. The exact bite force numbers circulating about this dog can't be trusted either. What is clear is that this is a very large and very strong dog. That's why the damage can be severe if this dog is not controlled. With the right owner, it can be a calm and reliable guard. But because it's independent, territorial, and hard to stop when it reacts, this dog is not for beginners or for people who are just looking for an ordinary family pet. Number 4, the powerful and independent Akita. The Akita is a large and sturdy dog from Japan. It was once used for hunting in the mountains of northern Japan. It is also known for its courage, quiet nature, and intense loyalty to its family. But that doesn't mean that all Akitas are automatically aggressive. In fact, they are independent and may become aggressive towards strangers and other dogs. Because they have strong bodies, they need to be trained and socialized with different people, animals, and places at an early age. The full responsibility for such a large dog should not be given to a young owner. With proper training and care, they can become calm and loyal companions. But if neglected and not socialized with other people, they can be hard to control because of their strength. Number 3, the heavy-duty Alaskan Malamute. The Alaskan Malamute was bred to pull heavy loads in the cold regions of the Arctic. It usually weighs between 75 to 85 pounds. It is known for its sturdy body strength and ability to work for long periods. This isn't the kind of dog that's content with just a short walk. It needs regular exercise, enough space, and activities that will use its strength and intelligence. When it's always confined and has nothing to do, it can become unruly, stubborn, or hard to control. It also has a natural instinct to chase small animals, so it needs to be watched when around smaller pets. With the right owner, the Malamute can be affectionate, loyal, and playful. But because of its size and strength, it's not a good choice for someone who doesn't have time for training and exercise. Number 2, the serious and reserved Chow. The Chow looks like a big teddy bear because of its thick fur that resembles a lion's. But this is not the kind of dog that will immediately approach and play with everyone. The Chow is an ancient breed from China. It is known for being dignified, independent, serious, and a bit aloof with people it doesn't know. The claim that it always attacks without warning is not true. It's more accurate to say that it can be hard to read its behavior if the owner doesn't understand the dog's body language. If it isn't socialized with new people and other animals while it's young, it can become overly defensive. Because it's independent, it needs patient and consistent training. You shouldn't shout at it, hurt it, or force it, because that will only make it lose trust even more. When raised properly, the Chow can be quiet, clean, and loyal to the family. Number 1, the controversial Pitbull type dogs. Number 1 is not just a single breed. The word Pitbull is used as a general term for several similar-looking dogs. This may include the American Pit Bull Terrier, American Staffordshire Terrier, Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and some mixed breeds. Because of this, it's hard to produce exact statistics. When an attack happens, sometimes the only basis for calling a dog a pit bull is its appearance, but mistakes can be made. Even people who are used to identifying breeds can make mistakes if there's no pedigree or DNA test. Some ancestors of pit bull type dogs have a dark history. Some were once used in bull baiting, a cruel activity where dogs were made to face off against bulls. When that was banned, some were then used in illegal dog fighting. Because of this, some lines were chosen for their strength, athletic bodies, and determination. But that doesn't mean that every pit bull type dog automatically wants to attack people. Many of them are affectionate, playful, loyal, and friendly when raised properly. The real danger happens when their strength is combined with the wrong owner. Lack of training, isolation, abuse, or being used in illegal fighting. There are also dogs that are intentionally raised to intimidate, always kept tied up outside, or not socialized with other people and animals. In these conditions, the risk of aggression increases. It's true that pit bull type dogs often appear in reports of serious attacks, especially in the United States. But we need to be careful when interpreting the data. The breed is not always confirmed. It's also not always known how many pit bull type dogs there are in a certain area. That's why it's hard to determine the true risk of each dog. It's also not true that pit bulls have a special kind of jaw. The basic structure of their jaw is still the same as other dogs. Not letting go right away may be due to strength, excitement, fear, training, or the personality of a particular dog. There are places that ban or strictly regulate pit bull type dogs, but it's still debated whether breed bans are effective. Many veterinary experts believe it's more important to look at each dog's behavior and the owner's responsibility rather than just the breed name. More effective protections include secure fencing, leash rules, supervision of children, proper socialization, and quick action when dangerous behavior is observed. So why are pit bull type dogs at number 1? It's not because every single one of them is bad. They're at number 1 because they're the most controversial group when it comes to dog attacks. They have strong bodies, they're often owned by irresponsible owners, and they appear in many reports of serious incidents. But a dog shouldn't be judged just by the shape of its head or the name of its breed. A well-raised pit bull type dog can be a loving and well-controlled pet. A neglected, abused, or intentionally made aggressive dog, no matter the breed, can become a danger. The only difference is, when the dog is big and muscular, the damage can be more severe. That is the most important lesson in this list. These breeds were not born monsters. Most of them are working dogs that were bred to guard, hunt, pull heavy loads, and protect people or animals. But they have the size, strength, energy, and instincts needed for those jobs. If they end up with the wrong owner, without training or lacking socialization, This combination can be dangerous. That's why before getting a powerful dog, it's not enough to just be attracted to their looks. You need to know their true temperament, needs, strength, expenses, and level of training required. Because in the end, the biggest influence on a dog's behavior is not just its breed. A huge part of it is the person who raised and is responsible for the dog.